All right. I got involved in a meditation and channeling group in the late 1980s. The group was run by several higher dimensional beings, channeled through members of the group, and I eventually became one of those channels, although I prefer energy rather than words. The group lasted for 7 years, took us all deeper and deeper and deeper, and gave me the core of what I've kept up with since then. I then spent quite a few years with just an unquenchable thirst to work with people. And I moved to a New Age community in the early 90s and middle 90s and got bored. Everybody's spirituality was in their head. They couldn't feel the energy. So I couldn't get the feedback I needed. And I ended up in Manhattan of New York City, working mostly with HIV positive gay men and a few HIV positive black women. Back then, there was no cure for AIDS, and they called it AIDS, Accelerated Identity Development Syndrome, because you get a death sentence in 4 years, and you immediately throw a lot of stuff out. All the little arguments you have with your sweetheart go right out the window because you've got 4 years to live. Also, because you don't die from AIDS, you die from the opportunistic infection from your compromised immune system. Everyone becomes hyper-vigilant. They can feel they're coming down with a cold several days before anybody else does. So they could feel the energy I was working with. I could get the feedback to trust what I could see was happening, but I needed that validation to get out of my own way and just trust that it would happen, to literally what they call these days, step into the fifth dimension, to know whatever I needed to know the instant I needed to know it, and to trust if I didn't know something, I didn't need it, because otherwise it would be there. So that then led to a period of, I need to get away from this for a while, and I went hiking. I moved to Arizona and just went hiking. At the end of that, I had one kind of thing. I was free. I'd go anywhere in the world I wanted, and I wanted to go to Palenque, a southern Mexico ruin site, because I'd had a connection with a being called Cacao, who was the head honcho, did the big ruin building in the 700s down there, up until about 750. And I packed the truck. I drove to southern Mexico and basically found out that Cacao wasn't there. I spent 3 months running around the ruins, having a really good time. And then it was April, and it started getting really hot, and I wilt in hot, steamy weather. So it's like, all right, am I going to go back to the States? I'm going to go higher elevation Mexico. And I ended up in Guatemala, in this town on the north shore of Lake Atitlan. As you said, San Marcos. The elevation's about 5,000 feet, 1,500 meters here, so it's cool enough. They call it eternal spring. It's
the
hot
best
in the sun.
Weather.
Hot in the sun, cool in the shade.
It's amazing.
It's incredible.